also she disregards everyone's claims. If you say something she doesn't agree with, she's just gonna disregard it and or change the subject of the show. Malika Andrews needs to be fired from ESPN. Recently, Malika Andrews has been doing a lot of things to piss off a lot of people, and I feel like now it's kind of all coming out together. In this video, I'm going to be showing you why I think Malika Andrews can be fired, and disclaimer, don't even try to call me racist. About 2 years ago, when I made my transition to NBA content, one of the first topics I talked about was the whole Rachel Nichols and Mariah Taylor situation, which is actually kind of funny because this has something to do with what we're talking about today. Anyways, the point is that I don't care if you're white, black, Mexican, Asian, whatever. I'm going to talk about you if you did something dumb. Alright, let's talk about what actually inspired me to talk about this. So for those of you that don't know, Joe Mazzulla is now the interim head coach of the Boston Celtics because Ime Udoka got caught in a scandal that I'm gonna have to bring up later. Anyways, yesterday on Malika Andrews' show, she talked about him for a second and had to bring up something that reminds me of something Rachel Nichols would do.
His youngest head coach at 34 years old. And we'd be remiss not to also mention that Mazzulla was arrested twice at West Virginia, once in 2008 for underage drinking and aggravated assault. He pled guilty, paid a fine, and then again in 2009 for domestic battery after an incident at Morgantown Bar. The domestic battery case never went to trial. It was settled in August of 2009. He paid a $100 fine and court costs, plus had to do 40 hours of community service. Now, that was 13 years ago. He settled and paid both fines. So, Woj, why are the Celtics choosing him as their next head coach?
What the fuck was the reason for that? There was nothing that prompted you to talk about that. You didn't need to inform anyone on some dumb mistakes he made 13 years ago. Look, I could get it if it was something really bad, like he did some essay to a woman, but he did drunk driving and got charged for aggravated assault. I'm not justifying what he did, but it was just fucking stupid. There was no reason to bring this up. It was not relevant. No one needs to know it. No one cares about it. It's not like it's this breaking news info that no one knew about. I'm sure it's been in the public for the past 13 years. Now, I started to think, why is she doing this? Because when Rachel Nichols did it, it's because she's kind of a closet racist. Allegedly, of course. But truth be told, I don't think Malika Andrews is a closet racist. However, I do think she's a feminist trying to push an agenda on the NBA. Look, if you're a feminist, some people have different opinions about it, or I guess what is considered a feminist, and I really don't care if you are one. Whatever you want to believe in is your own opinion, and I'm perfectly fine with that. Even if I don't agree with something, you can agree with whatever you want. However, do not come on a show that is about the NBA just for you to try to say that men aren't shit. And maybe by this one clip, I'm just reaching for stuff. Maybe I'm trying to make a video where I'm trying to get her fired because of whatever reason. Maybe I'm trying to say she's a feminist because I'm a dumb man, right? Well, let's look at something that happened a couple days ago that again made me very pissed off, and a lot of people too. I'm not alone on this.
This is not about pointing the finger. Stop. We are not here, Stephen A., to further blame women. That is not why we are here.
When I tell you I saw this clip, I had no idea how I wanted to deal with this. First of all, I don't like Stephen A. Smith as much as the next guy. I don't hate him, but he's not exactly my favorite guy. First of all, there are very few men in the world that could actually check Stephen A. Smith on his show, and I can think of one example on the top of my head. Second, you saying Stephen A. Smith was trying to blame women is absolute blasphemy. No one was trying to do that. I don't know if that's all you saw of the situation, that everyone and their mom was just trying to blame whoever this Boston person is, but I can promise you that's not what's going on over here. In fact, wait, if you're a feminist, don't you want equal rights, which means men have the same rights and women have the same rights / opportunities? So in this case, wouldn't you want not only Ime Udoka to face the repercussions, or wouldn't you want the woman, whoever was doing the cheating with them, to also face repercussions? And look, Ime Udoka is a public figure. He's the head coach of one of the biggest market teams in basketball. Now I get it, whoever this person is on the member organization, it could be a trainer, it could be, I don't know, an office worker, we don't know. And honestly, you didn't have to say her name. I'm not saying you had to do that. But first of all, no one was clear about the entire situation. If you want to see a timeline about the whole Ime Udoka situation, which I will be referencing in this video, my boy 2for1 made a video about it, link in the description. And second of all, the Boston Celtics themselves said that the woman did not get in trouble, or she wasn't going to face repercussions. And the fact of the matter is, we don't even know if it's a fully consensual relationship because some details details are being hidden right now, and it has Matt Barnes looking like he just done seen a ghost. Which is then why hours later, Malika Andrews went on her own show, I think it's called NBA Today or something like that, and she tried to check Kendrick Perkins for basically the same thing. However, you can't check Stephen A. Smith on your own show. You can't kick him off, but she did that to Perk.
That's the problem that I have right now. Everybody got to be held accountable.
I think that we need to circle back to what Shanae said, is that there was a investigation that was conducted by an independent law firm here, and to speculate on that, because what we have to...
Well, I'm not speculating. Sure. I have the information.
What we have to go with here is the fact that an independent law firm came in, did this investigation. We have to come to the conclusion that whatever rule, the conduct that was broken on one side, it is not the same on the other side. I thank you for your perspective.
And the difference here, though, is we know Stephen A. Smith has his connects, but we know Kendrick Perkins has connects to Boston. So he undoubtedly probably knows a very big chunk of the story that me and you don't know about, including Malika Andrews. The problem is that she's only listening to her side, and she's not willing to listen to Perk and maybe understand what he's trying to say. And the same with Stephen A. And that sentence of "we're not here to blame women" will forever piss me off. I agree with Stephen A. Why were you trying to go there and insinuate he was just trying to bedown women? Is that even a fucking word? I don't know. Hold, let me say this in my Malika Andrews voice. What we're not gonna do is try to say that Stephen A. Smith and Kendrick Perkins are just hating on women. We're also not gonna act like you didn't get your job because of a drama that involved Rachel Nichols and Mariah Taylor. If Mariah Taylor didn't get that bag from NBC and Rachel Nichols wasn't a closet racist, allegedly, there's like a 60% chance you wouldn't even have this job that you have. And I'm not the only one that thinks this, so don't even try to get pissed at me for this. Now, usually I don't get pissed off at these types of things. I really try not to. It's just a dumb take. But one of the reasons we watch sports is to try to get away from all the shit going on in the world. Even sports talk shows, which try not to have as much politics as most shows do. But when you try to say that famous sports analysts are just hating on women and saying they're trying to denounce them, and now you're just trying to make a whole big deal about it, it's shit like this that annoys me. Unfortunately for you people that don't like Malika Andrews, there's a chance she's not gonna get fired, and that's for probably two reasons. One, she's objectively pretty, and two, it's gonna be a hot mess at ESPN that does not need another scandal. However, with the dumb things she's been saying lately, it's honestly getting to me that wait, what the fuck? So as I'm recording this video, I get sent a tweet from Taylor Rooks saying, "Support women in journalism." Yo, if you don't shut the whole reason we're doing this isn't to... Did I not just make this point? No one is trying to hate on women for being a journalist or being involved in sports. This was never what we're talking about. We're talking about this because, one, she's saying dumbass things that could honestly lead to really bad consequences like Joe Mazzulla. Also, she disregards everyone's claims. If you say something she doesn't agree with, she's just gonna disregard it and or change the subject of the show. It's not that we hate her, it's legit criticism that you could make about her. Now, some of you might find this really hard to believe, but I don't hate Malika Andrews. I'm trying to criticize her because I hate when shit goes unnoticed. So Malika Andrews is trending on Twitter, and the first tweet I says, "This Malika Andrews situation really just proves that most of these sports fans tolerate women in these spaces as long as they don't have actual opinions." Yo, I'm gonna throw my fucking shit. Look, I'm gonna have to say this once, and I'm more than likely gonna have to say this again. There are women in sports who are very smart at their job and that are very good and that I could actually watch. Doris Burke is one of my favorite analysts / reporters of all time. Joy Taylor is also one of my favorites. Hell, even Lisa Salters. I love Lisa Salters. So it's not about women not being appreciated in sports. It's us criticizing them. It's not at all about gender. And I honestly hate that half this video I'm having to explain to people that it's not about gender and that we respect women. It's just that you're allowed to criticize people for doing dumb things. Malika Andrews can be a great analyst. That's not the conversation we're talking about. We're just now bringing up the fact that she denounced former players' opinions, and also the fact that she's done things similar to Rachel Nichols, who, yeah, I've already said the joke like 3 times. Look, this video might have pissed off a lot of people, and I honestly don't care at this point. I'm telling you what I see, I'm telling you what I believe, and if you don't like that, then oh fucking well.